Damian Lillard is headed back to Portland on a 3-year, $42 million deal. Remember 2 years ago when he wanted out of Portland? Then he got traded to the Bucks, and now after being waived by Milwaukee with an opportunity to go anywhere he wanted, Damian Lillard is heading back to where he started. For more on this huge news, we now welcome in Shams Charania. Shams, this is one of the more surprising stories, at least to me. Dame Lillard left Portland about 2 years ago to pursue a championship. Now he's going back to a Portland team that's not quite on that championship path just yet. So why did he decide to go back?
Ryan, being home in Portland, being back with his 3 kids was by far the biggest, most important factor in Damian Lillard deciding to return and re-sign with the Trailblazers. He was going to spend the year rehabbing his Achilles tear in the Portland area anyways. So returning to the Blazers franchise, even though he requested a trade just 2 years ago, was something he deeply cared about. And Boston, Minnesota, dozens of other teams had minimum and mid-level exception offers out to Damian Lillard in the last several weeks. But I'm told Lillard, as well as Joe Cronin, the Blazers GM, head coach Chauncey Billups, they all met at Damian Lillard's home in recent weeks and figured out how they were going to bond and reunite and move forward on a deal. 3 years, $42 million. He has a player option in the 3rd year as well. And now him and LeBron, the only players in the NBA now with a full no trade clause. And next year, Ryan, Damian Lillard will make $70 million between his Bucks and Blazers salaries. In the next 2 years, he'll be at $140 million combined in salaries.
Wow, that is huge. And you know what? I know a lot of times we say, hey, people should be championship or bust. I can certainly understand the idea of wanting to return home to where your family is. So what's the timeline for Dame's return?
Ryan, Damian Lillard is expected to use the entire 2025-26 season to rehab the Achilles tear and then return for the Portland Trailblazers, make his reunion and return in that arena in 2026-27, ahead of a player option that he'll have the summer of 2027. So now Damian Lillard is going to be in Portland. He'll be able to rehab there, spend time in the community there, be a leader for a young roster. And Portland was 22-18 to end last season. They were a top 5 defensive team as well. And so this is a team that's clearly rebuilding, retooling. And think, just 2 years ago, they traded Damian Lillard for Jrue Holiday. Then they traded Jrue Holiday away for more assets. Now they have Damian Lillard, Jrue Holiday, and all these players and assets they've been able to build up and deepen this team.
That is a great point. This is a team on the come up, and now they got Dame Lillard in the fold. Shams, thanks so much for the latest on Dame. Appreciate it.
Ryan, going to be exciting to see him back out there when he's...
Yeah, you're going to see more of that. April 23rd, 2019, Western Conference first round Thunder Blazers. Game tied at 1:15 under 7 seconds to play. Dame dribbling, deep 3 at the buzzer, and it's good. Waving goodbye to the Thunder, because didn't just win the game, but won the series. Portland advances, and here's Brian Anderson on the call.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range 3.
I mean, that's a bad shot. I don't care what anybody says, that's a bad shot. But, hey, he made it. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of talk and all this stuff, and that was the last word. That was having the last word.
It sure was. And from the last word to his last season, February 26, 2023, last season until next season anyways, and the season after that. 41 points starting off this game, 8 threes, Ryan, just at the half. Finished this game with the career high, remember this, 71 points, went 22 for 38, 13 for 22 from 3, and a perfect 14 for 14 at the free throw line. Trailblazers defeat the Rockets 131-114, and he scored 71.
And all those great moments and highlights don't come without racking up some serious stats. Lillard's the Blazers' all-time leading scorer with almost 20,000 points and has the most three-pointers in franchise history, too. And while he won't likely suit up next season, he's well within reach.
Contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and plans to join the Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. That second year is a player option. This is all after he clears waivers. So Beal was nothing if not concise with his goodbye message that he posted on social media. Just throwing up a little deuces, much to the amusement of several players around the league. Trae Young, Bam Adebayo, Andre Drummond, former Suns teammate Kevin Durant, all got a kick out of this. We did too. Sharpe reported that 5 of their teams, though, they were actually interested. The Heat, the Bucks, the Lakers, the Wolves, and the Warriors in Beal, but all signs pointed to him wanting to be a Clipper, and that looks like it's going to happen after he clears waivers. But Bobby, do you think that any of these teams have maybe another move out there to make after missing out on Beal?
I do, and I think we're going to certainly keep an eye on Golden State here. Malika, we're 3 weeks into free agency right now, and guess how many players Golden State has on their roster? 9. There is certainly a lot more work to do here, and a lot of it's being held up with the restricted free agency of Jonathan Kuminga, who is still one of the 4 restricted free agents out. Golden State continues to sit in a holding pattern right now. There's certainly a priority to get some front court depth. Right now they have Quentin Post as their lone center and some backcourt scoring here. So Golden State, 3 weeks into free agency, still have to go out and sign about 5 to 6 players here.
Real quick, Aman, we haven't gotten your thoughts yet on this whole saga with Jonathan Kuminga.
That's tough. I really like his game. I really like everything that he brings. If I was him, I would be sitting there with my hands up like, guys, what are we doing?
Right.
I know I can hoop, and I know that I'm only going to get older every year. So it's like, what are we doing? What's my plan?
And what else can he do to prove to the Golden State Warriors that he's worthy of being called on?
I think he gets talked about around the league enough, especially when you start listening to his peers. When his peers, especially when they talk about it and say, who do they think is on their way to that? They talk about him as if he is a frustrating assignment to have on a night-to-night basis. And when he finally gets his chance and get his opportunity, I think it's going to be foot to neck.
That's a pretty high compliment. But since we're talking about the players that are still available and waiving and stretching, Damian Lillard, he is still an unrestricted free agent after being bought out by the Milwaukee Bucks. And I know that everyone is looking towards, well, it'll be another year. But what team do you think is the best fit for Dame here, Bobby? Because it could be a year, but it could not be.
Well, I mean, I look at the Damian Lillard situation. I think there's the human element, and then there's also the basketball court here. And for me, it's a reunion back in Portland here. I think certainly where Damian Lillard is at his career, where his children reside in Portland, he's doing all his rehab in Portland. Yes, he will likely be out an extended period of time this year, but if you compare him with Drew Holiday in that Portland backcourt next year, I just look at a reunion with Portland. He certainly left on better terms than a player that would have who asked to be traded. For me, I would circle Portland for Damian Lillard. If I was asked to pick a place, that would be the place for him.
Wow. Portland, again. There's a certain storybook ending that would be, though, Tim.
And look, there's family issues as well there.